Have you ever thought about the way people perceive you based on your name? What's in a name can have a big impact on whether or not a company hires you. And this is especially true for names that do not sound white American. Black, Asian, and other minorities all face discrimination based off their names alone. Hi, my name is Nicole Worth, and I'm here today to present to you on the effect of a name in job applications. To start, we need to acknowledge that bias exists. Whitened resumes, or resumes that have references to race removed, are more likely to get callbacks. In fact, in an article by Liz Bernier, she states that they are 2 to 2.5 times more likely to get a callback than a non-whitened resume. This can be seen in various minorities. In the diagram on the right side of the screen, produced by the Harvard Business School, you can see the percentage of resumes that earned requests for interviews for both African American and Asian applicant pools. African Americans with whitened resumes were 25% likely to receive a request for an interview versus only 10% for their non-whitened resumes. In Asians, 21% of whitened resumes did receive a request for an interview versus only 11.5% for a non-whitened resume. In a study by Patrick Klein and his associates, where they sent out 83,000 fictional resumes to 108 different firms, their conclusion was that 61% of firms discriminate. That's a large number considering how many resumes that they did send out. And that's a sad number in today's society. How are people choosing to mitigate this bias? Well, minority applicants are whitening their names and their resumes. They're changing their names to be more Americanized and easier to say. They're changing their hobbies to be more stereotypically perceived white hobbies, such as camping, hiking, biking. They're also omitting experiences in organizations, such as the Black Society for Student Engineers. One person involved in Sonia Kang's study mentioned how they were the recipient of a very prestigious scholarship, but because it was a scholarship only available to Black students, they left it off their resume so that they would not be instantly recognized. In companies, they're turning to blind recruitment and resume processes where they actually remove names and identifiers from applications and resumes that they receive in order to get past these biases that might occur. Companies are also choosing to examine unconscious biases in their application processes. It can be difficult when you have a ton of applications come in to not revert back to unconscious biases within you. But when these companies examine this and they acknowledge this and they train their employees to get past this, they can move past these biases to provide a fair recruitment process. However, it's important to denote that there is a pro-diversity falsehood in companies today. Some companies say that they promote diversity. They have diversity statements on applications. However, in Kang's study, it was shown that biases are still present in the hiring processes. These companies say that they don't have bias. However, when compared with overall studies, it exists. You can see it. And in some cases, this is even worse than having no diversity promotion at all. Having a diversity promotion makes a minority less likely to whiten their resume. And this in turn, because the company actually does have a bias, leads them to be less likely to get a callback. In conclusion, a big step forward from here is for companies to acknowledge all bias. For the companies that do say that they promote diversity, they really do need to go back in and look at their hiring processes to make sure that they are promoting diversity. As minorities, you don't want to modify you. You want to let companies accept you for you. Demisha Jennings, the founder of She Assists, who helps minorities write amazing resumes, emphasizes this point that if a company wouldn't accept you, why would you want to work there? It's important to make sure that you are representing yourself to the best of your abilities. Want to learn more? Here are some of the references that I used in this presentation, and you can find out more information there.